Alright, today we have a review of the Liebherr HS855 crawler crane produced by NZG. Right now I have my crane configured as a standard crane with the hook block on it. However, it is more designed to be a dragline. So first thing I'm going to do, show you some of the literature that comes with it. Right here we have your reeving instructions for the A-frame, showing you just how to reeve it and where to tie it off. And next we have the instructions on one side, and it's on this big ol' fold-out thing. I think a booklet would be nicer, but that's just my own opinion. On one side, you have how to assemble it with the standard crane, and it's in English on one side, and I'm guessing German on the other side. Liebherr is a German company, so that's my guess. It shows you how to assemble the crawler tracks if you ever take them off. It comes with them on, but if you were to take it out for transportation, it shows you how to do that. And on the other side, it shows you how to set it up as a dragline. And it just goes through all that, and again, English, German. Or at least what I think is German. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the box it comes in. The box is pretty much all in German. And, yeah. You have a nice picture on either side. It's the same picture on both sides. And it's just made out of a pretty thin cardstock material. Inside, the crane is in a nice styrofoam packaging. If you pull it out, this is the way you want to see it. Smaller section on bottom, big section with the removable styrofoam insert on top. I don't know how many times I've taken a model out and opened it upside down. So I'll let you guys all know that. So once you take this out, set that off to the side, there'll be a little piece of paper. Right here you'll have your 3 boom sections, your counterweights. I have 2 of mine not installed on the crane, and I'll explain that in a minute. And you'll have other various, like your jib will be here and other various parts and pieces right there. Let me just put this back right there. Then on the inside, right now I just have various, the little extra pieces that get sent with it stuck in here. But your crane will be right here, and again, other pieces throughout. Right here, I just kept it in here for storage, is your actual dragline bucket, along with what is basically the rope guide that attaches to the car body of the crane. But I just left mine in there because I like it more set up as a crane than a dragline. And let me show you some of the extra little stuff that comes in the bags. Right here, I'm not sure what the toothpicks are for. This little tool is it's to help you reeve it, just to get the wire through, and to brand it with the NZG logo, as you can see right there. And then these right here are to keep the counterweights in place. They have a small one, a large one, and the medium-sized one is in the crane right now. The reason I don't have all the counterweights on the crane is that my large ones are slightly bent or twisted. So it kind of twisted the weights as you stacked them, and it just didn't look right, so I just opted to take one out. Next, you have extra nuts and bolts, pennant line connections, and extra sheaves, along with, I think this has something to do with the dragline, along with some extra pins. It's basically just a bag of extras. And then right here, more little extras, track pads, mirrors, a few nuts and bolts, just little stuff that might get broken off. So it's nice that NZG sends you with some extra bits and pieces. And then just extra bags I had from probably nuts and bolts when I assembled the crane. And so that's the box. Let's move on to the actual crane itself. Right here, this is your drum key, and this is your wrenches basically to assemble the crane. And I will touch note on those again later. We are going to start on this side of the crane, and it does come with 2 keys, so we're going to start with this side of the crane. The cab has fantastic detail in it. I'm very thrilled with it. I'm not sure how well that's going to show, but let's try it this way. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better this way. You can see right here, you have the computer. You can see the joysticks on either side behind it. You can see it's detailed with the windshield wiper. Hand railing on this side, mirrors, and you can see the operator station. It's very nicely done. Above the cab, you have lights this protective structure, keep anything from falling on top of the cab. Little antenna, another light facing the rear, and on these walkways, these catwalks right here, it's you can see it and you can kind of hear it. They are nicely etched, and this cab will actually completely tilt up on its own hydraulic cylinder, and I'll show you that cylinder closer in a minute here. But the catwalk continues all the way back. The graphics are done very nice. You definitely, this model is expensive. It's about $212 on diecastmodels.co. That's where I ordered mine from. Diecastmodels.co is a great place to order because you can almost always get some sort of free model from them. And they have a reward zone. You get a discount just for having a account there, which is a free account. It's great. But anyways, getting back to the model. Up here you have your exhaust, which does fold down. And you have, I'm guessing this would be part of your engine in here. This is etched nicely right here. You have your air intakes here and here. Coming around to the back, you have your counterweights. And again, the counterweights are removable in separate sections, and it has the this pin that basically runs all the way through them. Like I said before, my longer one was slightly twisted on one of them, so they all kind of ended up doing one of those with it. Not a huge fan of that. This counterweight is removable. It attaches to this pin right here. That's what holds the weight on. Actually, I will take a moment here and remove it. Easiest way to remove it is with a little pair of pliers just to grip that little pin. I mean, you can get it out by hand, but I think it's just easier. The weights will drop straight down. And then here's your counterweight stack. It does have a built-in counterweight removal device with the chains, and then the cylinders will lift it up. They're pretty stiff, so I think you would be able to hold your actual counterweights on with it. And then they attach to these lifting hooks right here. One of mine is broken. I just need to super glue it back on. And then it'll be fine, but I think it just got snapped off or something. I don't know. But it's there. It just needs super glued, and that's fine. So that's that for the counterweight removal device. It's very nicely set up. I'm going to try to line these cylinders back up with this counterweight. Alright, and now that back on, we can continue with the review. Coming around to the top, again you have the, it is etched, not quite as deeply as on the walkway, but it is still etched. You have your 3 drums. This is one for your A-frame back mast, and then 2 drums for the hook blocks in this case, or the drag line if you would set it up with that. Cover here, I'm assuming over engines and stuff. You have your ladder right here, more walkways, and as far as details on the machine, it is very nicely detailed. You do have hydraulic lines up here running to this winch. I'm not sure. I'm guessing that has something to do with the drag line. I'm not sure about that though. I don't know a whole lot about drag lines. But you have your cylinders here. These lines go up to the the single sheave hook block, or the headache block, and the other hook block I have on there. The back of the A-frame. This is the only thing you have to reeve by yourself on this model. It doesn't come pre-reeved like on a Manitowoc 4100, but you just reeve it real simply, and then you tie it off right here. It does come with this dedicated tie-off point. Up here, you do have to assemble all of your pennant lines, attach them all together, but that makes it easy if you're going to remove a section of boom. If you wanted it shorter, just take out the appropriate section of pennant line. And right now I'm going to talk about how this everything is assembled right here. You see these little brass bolts right here. It's a nut and bolt system right here, and I'm not sure how clear that's showing up on the camera, but basically it's a nut and bolt, and that's what these two are for right here, is so I can, you know, hold on to one with that one and then rotate it with the other one like a screwdriver, and it will tighten. And they work great. They're real finely made, so they no problem that way. But the entire pendant line is done with those, along with all of the boom connections. So it's a little bit time consuming to assemble it, but I definitely think it's well worth it. They don't stand out as much as, say, a little rivet would or something, but I think they look good. I like it. If you're wondering what that noise is, that's my dog right there. So he's been making noise in the background. Sorry about that. Anyways, let me show you the winch drums now. On this side of the crane, there's only one door on either side, but there's only one winch accessible on this side. And on this side, it is for the back mast right here. And you can see it in there. It is that right there. And what you do is you take one of your keys and you stick it in. And for these, you have to apply pressure and then turn it. Otherwise, you will, that's how you release it, is by applying pressure. And if you don't, you will mess it up. And basically, you'd ruin the drums on it. You don't want to do that. So that's how you do that. It takes a little while to turn this any because you have so much line you have to let out for it to go a short distance. But that's the only drum back here. And then on the other side, your two connections are under this first panel right here. And these are much easier to get to because they're not set back as far, and you have one for the for each drum. And these are interestingly set up. They don't connect directly into the drum like most would. They're kind of offset and then geared. So when you turn it like you would want to be releasing it, you're actually bringing line in. So they are set up backwards, but they work great. NZG came up with a real nice system for that, and the doors. They're flush. You can hardly tell they're doors when you're looking at them. And that's about it for the operations of it. One other thing I'd like to note is I'm going to turn the crane a little bit. My crane came particularly stiff on the tracks, which I don't really mind. But if I was to ever do stop motion, I'd probably loosen it up some. These tracks can either be compressed in like that to be considerably narrower, and then you can extend them out. Like that. Then here and here you have basically, they're not stabilizers, but they're jacks to hold up the car body of the crane before you had these tracks attached to it during transportation. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you the entire boom. And up here, you have a little jib up here, which just runs a single, you can run the the headache block off it, and this is just a little chain I'd made for it. The jib is nice. It does add just that little extra bit of reach, which is a nice feature. Right here, this has a tie-off to either be, you can just tie it off with a single line, or you can run a single pulley through it, and you can tie it. It does have a tie-off point right here. Very nicely done. Right here, and this is the only part of this crane I'm not sure if I did correctly, is that I have both of my lines running over a single sheave right here, and I don't think I set that up correctly because you do have to put these sheaves in individually. So there's not a problem with it. There's no friction being caused on either one of these lines when you pull them, so it's not causing a problem. So I haven't really done anything about it. But you may want to look at the instructions a little closer than I did when I was assembling it. But anyways, I highly recommend this model. I was originally leery about spending over $200 on it, especially considering it's not a huge crane. But I definitely think it was worth it. I would definitely recommend it if you're in the market, especially for a crane this size, or just you want a decent crane model. It's definitely a good first crawler crane model. and it's relatively small. It's compact enough. You don't need a huge amount of space to store it. So I definitely highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.